Hello, I just wanted to make a quick video to show off the fact that my mixer thingy there, I was able to make that fly a quadcopter. So this is like no programming, like no typing source code. You just drag those nodes around and connect the wires and make some settings on them. But unfortunately I couldn't get it to do it at the default 50 Hz, which I'm thinking to run this thing at. So I might have to add a setting to be able to change the update rate to 100 or 200 Hz, and in this case 200 Hz is what it took, which is a pity because it makes some other things kind of awkward to deal with. But anyway, looks like it might be necessary if I want to let people do this kind of thing. I can't really recommend it though, because of the same problem that we had with the plane. It's like the auto level, if you're just sitting still it's fine, but if you have a long continuous acceleration in one direction, the auto level gets a little bit off. I'll show you that in a minute hopefully. So I'm just going to do a little flight here. I've got the camera, RC Runcam 2 on the front, and I've got the little logging thing on there. Unfortunately, running at 200 Hz, it can't log as much per frame as I was doing with the plane in the previous video. So we're just going to see, what are we going to see? My inputs and the motor outputs, and that's about it, I think. Anyway, let's give it a fly.
Okay, looks like we're good to go. I have to be a little bit careful with this because there's no concept of fail-safes or modes or arming and disarming. It's just always going to go when I raise the throttle. So let's go. So, well, you can hopefully see my inputs. So maybe pointless for me to hold my radio up like this so you can see that I'm not touching it, but hopefully from the overlay on the screen you can see I'm not actually doing anything. It's just drifting with the wind and going up a little bit there, I think. Yeah, definitely going up. And it's not the most stable thing. It's a little bit shaky, sort of wobbling every now and then, but I didn't spend a whole lot of time tuning it. I did spend quite a while actually, and I think this is probably the best I can do. So, like I say, it's not really to be considered as a replacement for Betaflight or Arduino or iNav or anything by any stretch of the imagination, but it does fly alright. And let's do a little bit of left and right, like that. Oop. Seems like, yeah, so it gets a bit of oscillation when you do that. Somehow it seems like the throttle is much more sensitive than I'm used to. So like even just a small change will really change things. But yeah, I'll see if I can demonstrate what happens when you do a long acceleration in one direction and then try and stop. So let's go full forward and then I let go. Now see how I'm not leaning it back, but it leaned itself back there. So it might have looked like I was trying to stop there and correct the forward movement, but I wasn't. And I'm just hands off the whole time here. So it sort of settles itself out, and as long as you're not accelerating too much in one direction, let's go back this time. A little bit more throttle. A little bit less throttle. Okay, full back. A little bit more throttle. Alright, and then hands off. Oh, I should have adjusted the throttle there, but you could see that again. It's it loses track of what level is. So I couldn't really recommend doing this too much, unless if you're doing some very, very gentle, just sort of hovering pretty much in the same spot, might be okay, but what I'm doing here is just a tech demo sort of a thing to prove that this mixer thing can do all kinds of stuff. Oh, and we can do yaw as well, of course. Let me do a little bit of yaw here. Oops, yeah, okay, that's yaw. And yeah, like I say, the throttle, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm a bit out of practice here, but the throttle seems to be very touchy. Anyway, I think I'll just leave it there because that little data thing records quite a lot of data and takes me a while to process it afterwards. So I think I'll just leave it there. Thanks for watching.